Hi, I'm Rebecca and welcome to my podcast, Smashing Through with Rebecca.x. I am so excited you're here on this episode. Topics include life, business, mindset, full of kick-ass content and high energy. Enjoy the podcast and remember, you too can smash through and keep going always. Generational releasing. There was something that I mentioned on the previous episode, podcast episode number 390, that actually gave me the idea for this episode. Okay, so generational releasing, what I mean by that is there anything in your life right now that has come down the generations that you are still abiding by? Any values, beliefs, anything that you are living in your current lifetime, okay, that doesn't feel good to you, that isn't positive, it doesn't align with you, it doesn't benefit you in any way, shape or form. However, you've got this generational stuff, if you get me, that you are living with this invisible kind of thing above your head, shall we say, this cloud of that you can't act out, you can't do this, you've got to do this, and it's kind of this invisible thing that you're living with constantly, and it's putting so much pressure on you. And the reason why I'm asking, not only did that episode, give me the idea to ask this question and get you thinking, but it's like, I'm going to give you some examples of how I've broken any generational things in my life that's come down the line, if you get me drift. So some things in this lifetime I have actually followed suit, if you get me. So it's a bit like my mum did it, my nan did it, and I was like, right, okay, well, you know what? I can't rewind time. I can't change anything. And I want you to, as you're listening to me, when I say the words I, really think about yourself in the moment, okay? Because all these podcasts, all my work is all about you. It's all about giving value, changing lives, empowering, unlocking things. It's all about releasing you and fathoming out what you're here for, changing your mindset, all of those things, okay? I'm mastering mindset, that's what I do. Everything collectively, what I do is all about mindset. All of it, okay? And all the new stuff I'll be doing is all about mindset. But, generational releasing is so powerful because you can stay stuck and hold yourself back by something in the generations previous without you even knowing. Something that is being said, has been said, or is being said, or something that's just given, should we say. And when I say the words given, I'm doing my fingers in the speech box. It's a given thing. For example, all the family are in accountancy, so you have to be an accountant. Well, you might want to be an artist, but you feel the nudge. You feel as though you have to be an accountant because your dad was one, the granddad was one, the great-granddad was one, 2 times great-granddad, and all of this stuff, you know what I mean? You kind of been in the firm and stuff like that, yeah? But the thing is that what you can do is you can see. So observe your own generational line and then some friends as well, and you can literally see the entire generation of a family, okay, living the same stories, following the same patterns, living with this invisible cloud above their head that they have to do this and act like this and wear this and do this, instead of our soul being the butterfly that it is and releasing and letting go and flying wherever you want and being whatever colours you want to be and painting outside the lines and doing all the things, you know what I mean? Because our soul is unique and remarkable and amazing, incredible and all of the goodness. And you're not here to be caged. You're not here to be held back. You're not here for any of that. And I want you to know and be aware and be awake to the fact that you can literally break all the generational stuff. You can release from all of the stuff. You can change the generational thing if you want to. Everything's a choice. the cycle can change, the rhythm can change, all the beliefs, the values, this, all of it can literally be changed with one person making a change and making a decision and coming away from something. You may have seen an image, and I'm going to share with you what it is. So I saw an image on Instagram, and it's loads of matches, okay? And the first few of them are on fire, and they carry on, because when you're all in a line and you're all following everything and they're all laid there, they all start setting alight. But as soon as you pull one, the one in the centre on this image was pulled down, you stop everything, so you don't light up the fire of everything else. You can literally do the same with your generations. From you down, okay, everything can be changed. You're not in the same environment. You're not going to raise your kids the same. You are not going to implode all of your values, beliefs, and everything onto your kids or grandkids or whatever else. You know, they're not going to struggle as you did. Everything is changing. They're not going to live with this negative mindset, negative money mindset. They're going to have a great relationship with themselves. They're going to have a great relationship with you. They're going to have a wonderful relationship with money. They're going to see the world as positive, not negative. They're going to have the modalities and the techniques for mindset of what to do so that they can change the circumstances, that they can have tenacity and they can really go for it and have the drive and determination. They're not going to sit there moping around, feeling sorry for themselves and being a victim mindset. Okay, they are going to step into empowerment. They're going to step into all of that. They're going to work on the release sections of their life that they do need to work on. You can literally change the generations and disrupt everything by making a choice and a decision for yourself. And I really encourage you to do it, because I've done it with my own. Okay, I'm the black sheep. So I've done it with mine, and it is okay to be okay. It is okay to do that and be that, because you are built different. You are made different. You're not meant to be a sheep or a clone of anybody else. You are here for your soul journey. Your soul will dictate what you're here to do. And if you don't do what your soul wants to do, you're going to be upset, miserable, you know, all of those things. However, one thing I will say is that when you can release all the generational burdens and values and beliefs and pressure and stress and all of that, oh my goodness me, you are like that butterfly. You are flying out there. You're not in a cage anymore. You can be, do, have, and create whatever it is that you want. You're going to be an amazing role model because you have the positive mindset, focus, drive, determination, motivation in order to do whatever. You're living a whole completely different life, and the generations below you are going to thank you for breaking the cycle, for breaking the negative pattern. And I also understand, because I've done family history, I've gone back to 560 AD, okay, and I know what people used to do in their careers and where they lived. And you know, I'm probably the only one in the family who's been to all of the graves, been to all the houses, been to all the places, you know, all that. And my family used to work in cotton mills, and they used to be coal miners, and I'm so proud of all of that. They lived in a different generation. You know, my family was in a little village called Eam in the Peak District, and the from history, what was written in the history books is that a blanket came from London to the actual village, and it had the plague on it. It's all in the history books. You can do your own research. And the village actually shut themselves away from everyone else and contained it all. I mean, how selfless is that? You know what I mean? And so many people died. The outside villages brought food in, put them around, you know, in the field, and then walked off, and then people from the village went out to get them and bring the food in. Lots of lives were changed, you know what I mean? But it took someone to make that decision in order to break that. And I know it's not a generational thing, but to break the cycle of the plague actually continuing around wherever, you know what I mean? And it's in the history books. You can go and have a look. It's called EYAM, E-Y-A-M. And I'm very proud of my ancestors for everything that they've done, you know, for going that far back as well. You know, I know a lot of the stories, I've done all the research and everything else. I'm so proud, and we all lived in a different time, you know what I mean? And there are some people that I'm like, yes, go for it, you know. But what I'm talking about in regards to the generational releasing is the negative side of the environments that were not good, that were toxic, that were negative, that, you know, in this day and age of the years that we're in right now, of actually, we're awake, we can decide, we have choices more so. We are, and I will say this, we are richer now than we ever have been. Back from the 1500s, if you think about what your ancestors, how people lived, what they had back in the 1500s compared to now, you know, we're on the internet, we have computers, we have cars, we have, you know, Wi-Fi, we have, you know, food in the stores. Yes, we can grow our food as well, but we've got iPhones, we've got Androids, we can, you know, do anything, be anything, have anything, create anything. We can create a whole business online if we want to and not even leave the house. You know what I mean? We've got computer games. There's so much that we have now. But I want to take you back to being present in the moment. Earth gives us everything. So remember to ground yourself. Remember to do the releasing. Remember to do the inner work, the mindset work. Be around nature. You know, the trees give us energy. The ocean gives us energy. Put your feet on the ground. Feel how the sand is between your toes. And really know that you can change any generational thing that's happened just with a decision, just by you saying yes to you, releasing and let go, put your boundaries in place, being a voice for yourself and deciding here on in, it stops now. And then changing the whole thing so you're not repeating any cycles. The generations below you are not struggling, repeating anything. They're not experiencing what you did or what your parents did or whoever. Okay, so just know that with inner mindset work, you can change everything. And it's so important. So please visit my website, Rebecca.x. There are lots of things on there to help you to do all of this. Expansion is my signature program. It's in the section programs and courses. Expansion is there to really help support, guide, and give you everything in order to do all of this work. I am sending you lots and lots of love, and I will see you on the next episode.